Hi everyone, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. Welcome. We're starting in my hand view today because I've got the lights down in my room so I can show you tonight's project. But before we get there, a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, welcome and thanks for joining me. While we wait for others to join, we will start with a little bit of housekeeping. You know, if you like the video and the project I'm working on tonight, I'd love it if you'd give me some hearts. Facebook likes that better than the thumbs up. And if you share my video, please comment, share it in the comments so that you might win tonight's project. And I'm going to tell you, it's a neat project. So I think it's something you're going to want to have. So that being said, also if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, and once you do, please hit the blue bell so you can be notified of when I upload a new video. Now last week I made this cute little card using the penguin, and then this is the paper that goes with the troll suite, or the gnome, not the trolls, the gnomes, but it's the back side of it. And I just think he's adorable, this little penguin. And this card's gonna go to Elizabeth Brown. So Elizabeth, I will get this out to you as soon as possible, okay? So, I am going to switch over to my other view. It's going to be a little dark, but you'll see why in just a minute, because I want to show you the project I'm going to make for you tonight. But we need it to be dark. Ooh, have I piqued your curiosity? Okay, so I'm going to turn off the lights, change the view, and bring it right. I'm trying to get this to where I need it so I don't spoil it for you. So I'm going to turn off the light. I'm going to change my view. And there we go. This is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to make this cool. Oops, that's the back side. Votive box. Isn't that cool? It can also be a gift box, and if you put a little battery operated votive in it, then it can be the gift that keeps on giving, but it makes a great gift box too. So now you can see why I needed the dark. Okay, I'm going to switch back to my other view here and we will get started. So let me turn that off so I don't run my little battery down. So like I said, this is done I used the Twinkling Lights dies, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's really a lot easier than it looks. Okay, I'm going to set it right over here, and I'm going to start with my trimmer, my scorer actually. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my blade out of here so I don't accidentally cut something when I mean to score it. You know what? Might as well do that, because then, oh come on, I never have trouble getting this out of here. Why does this not want to come out today? Should have thought of this. There we go. Okay. There's a little area there at this end where it makes it easier to come out. So now all I have in here is my scoring blade, okay? I have a piece of thick basic white cardstock. This is 5.5 by 10 3/4. No, actually I left this one at 11. This one I cut to 10 3/4. And what the difference is this little overlap section here. If you wanted to put a tree on the back, you needed this section small, but you know what? I think I'm okay with it being a little bit bigger. You know what? I can always cut it off before I assemble it if I decide I don't like it. So I went ahead and left it at 11. But when I did this box, it was 10 3/4. Okay. And we are going to score this. Let me open up my trimmer here. We are going to score this at 2 5/8. There's 2, there's 2.5, and another 1/8. 2 5/8, 5 1/4. Hope everybody in the U.S. had a happy Thanksgiving. 7 7/8. There's 7.5, 7 3/4, 7 1/8. I know you can't see the far side of my, there we go. And the last one is scoring it at 10 1/2. So let's see. So, and I think that'll be okay. That's not too big. It actually, I'm gonna make sure something makes me look like this one is not exactly right. Let's see. These are 1, this is 2 5/8. Is this one 2 and, yep, okay. It just looked a little wider to me. 2 5/8. Yep, and 2 5/8. Okay, that's good. So we'll come back to some more scoring later when we work on the lids. So we're going to start with the tab side on this side, okay? And we are going to make a little line that is 5/8 inch up from the bottom, okay? So that's 1.5, that's 5/8. I'm gonna get a pencil, make a really light line. I'm gonna just do it in a couple places and then I'm gonna connect the dots, so to speak. And this will just be our guide for when we do some die cutting. Does that look even? I sure hope that looks even. Yeah, it does. I'm going to do a super light line. Okay, there we go. I'm going to just do a couple quick measurements. 1 5/8, 1 5/8. Because some days I screw up my measurements. You know how that goes. 1 5/8. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. And we'll be erasing that line later. So that's okay. And you may not even be able to see it. It's so light. Usually I'm kind of heavy-handed with my pencil, so I was real careful not to go too heavy. So we start out first by die cutting the tree out of 3 of the sections. So if you've got your tab over here, it's going to be the 3 sections nearest this tab, because then this will be the back and this will overlap onto that, okay? So for this, we do need the large big shot, the big boss, so to speak. Okay. And we are going to, on our dies, I'm going to get the outline of the tree to start with. And get my piece of cardstock. I really feel like I'm forgetting something, but to tell y'all something, but I don't remember. Okay, so what we've done here by drawing this line, this helps me line it up. I'm going to line it up between the score lines that I made, and the die is going to be right at the bottom there. And so this doesn't move, I am going to use a piece of washi tape here, okay, just to kind of hold that in place, okay? I'm going to use my top plate. go back. I could have gone on through, but I just decided to work from this side. So there we go. I'm gonna pull this off really carefully so I don't tear it. Probably didn't need this big a piece of washi tape. Whoops. Yeah, but I don't need that big a piece of washi tape. Okay, and then we're gonna move it. We're gonna do this in the next section. I'm not gonna put it down quite as hard. What I'm gonna tear some of these edges off here. So it's very little on that side of it, and there's more on the other side, or on the inside. That's enough to hold it down, and that's the part that I am taking out anyway, so that's a better place to have the washi tape adhere. Okay, I'm gonna run this one through. I'll move this over just a little bit. I don't want this video to be too long. It's a really cool project, and it's not all that hard once you work on it. Okay, and then the last one is going to be right here. That's lined up. That's pretty much centered, and there we go. Okay. Okay, take that piece of white out. Okay, let me get this out of the way for right now. We'll need the machine back again in a minute. Okay, so we have our 3 pieces that are going to be our open areas on the box. So I'm going to erase this line. And I'm glad I went light, because then I don't have to erase too hard. There we go. Okay, there's that. Easy enough. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take, we're going to flip it over. I have 3 pieces of vellum. And this vellum is 2.5 by 5 3/8, and we are going to adhere it to the back of each of these pieces, okay? Behind each of these trees, the holes that we've cut. Because this is where our die-cut green tree is going to adhere, okay? And I'll be honest, for this project, it works best to use the Tombow glue. So let me make sure I'm started here. Yeah, I've got it started. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go right around the edge of this. Super light. And this is really narrow right there, so I'm going to put a little piece. I'm going to put this on here. Just a little bit there. Okay, 2 more here. You don't need a lot of this. And you know what I'm going to do, because I didn't do it on this other one, is put some other places for it to adhere. But what's most important is that it covers up your tree opening, and that it's not sticking out the top, okay? So I'm going to take a second and go back and put a couple of spots of glue in these corners here that I didn't put before. especially on these top ones here. Adhering vellum is always a challenge because, you know, most often it shows just like this. You can see the glue through it, but that's okay because this is the inside. And the last one, put a little drop there. Oh, I have to give credit. This box I did not create. I am not that talented. This was from Brenda Quintana. So I saw this on her YouTube channel, and I wanted to bring it to you to show you, give you something different. So thank you, Brenda, for being so creative. She does a lot of 3D projects. Okay, so there we are. So there we are. Okay, now the next thing is to do our trees. Okay, I've already die cut 2 of them. We're going to do the 3rd one. Okay, I tried to do what I could ahead of time. Now we're going to use this, you know, to get this tree cut like this, we have to utilize 2 dies. We have to use this one and this one that I used before. And it's easiest if you just adhere them or just cut them at the same time. I like to use a little piece of, again, washi tape. I like to get it centered this way. Look at that. And it'll go right on there. Now I just gotta bring my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back, and we will die cut that out. See, we are cruising right along. Some of these projects I see and I think, oh, they're so complicated, but you know what? Once you get into it, oops, this is my bottom one. And if you ever forget what your sandwich is on your Big Shot, the recipes are right there, the sandwich recipes, so it's nice that they printed it right on there so you never lose it. Okay. Now I'm going to show you when you take this off. Whoops. See that all stayed intact, which is great. Get rid of that. But look at this. You get all these little dots right here. You can scrape them off. I like to use a piece of painter's tape to just lift them off. And it gets a lot of them. So, and then I can just throw that away. Okay, let's set this back out of the way. Yeah, unfortunately for this machine, or for this project, you do need the larger machine because you're putting the larger piece of paper in. I'm gonna bring my little trash bin over. Now I've already done that on the other 2 trees that I've cut. But a couple of things, got to make sure we've released all the little holes. Believe it or not, they're not all released. So some of them I'll use my little U-pick tool. This is one thing, I like this on my U-pick tool. And I like the little pokey tool, the pokey point, so to speak. It's great, you know, I just making sure I've got all the holes punched out. And there's some smaller stars. I don't know if you can see them. Just gonna kind of open them up just a little bit. Make them a little bit bigger so I can get a little bit more light through. This would be tedious if you were doing a lot of these, but 1 or 2, not too bad. Okay, I just have this bottom here. And you know what? You will get little holes coming out of these little pieces of green coming out of those holes too when you poke them out. But I just think that helps make them more light shine through. Put my cap back on that point. Okay, I'm gonna set that off to the side. Okay, so now we have our 3 trees. I don't know if you could tell here, but Brenda did this, and I thought this was a brilliant idea. She actually cut the top of the star part of the tree off, and so that allows more light to show around the top part of the tree. So what you did was, you see this top section of branches, or the top section of the tree, just cut right along that on all 3 trees. Okay, should have done the other 2 before we got on camera, but I didn't think of that, so let me pull these over here. I love this little box. I think it is so clever, and I think there's probably other dies we have that we could do something similar to this. So now I'm going to have to look at them and see. Okay, so now we have 3 trees. We're going to use our Tombow glue, and we're going to put glue on the back. We're going to adhere them right in those sections, just like that, okay? Again, just super light. You don't want it gushing out of the little holes. Put it right in the, like that. But I want to try to get the edges if I can. Tree number 2. Oops. There we go. And the last tree here, same thing. I'm going to go along the edges, just so they get adhered down real well around the bottom. Something I will warn you about, Tombow does have latex in it, so if you have a latex allergy, it's probably not the adhesive you should be using, so just keep that in mind. Okay, now, in this die set, there is this die here, which is for the stars on the top of the tree. I have already cut those out with gold foil. They're right here. I'm going to turn them upside down. And I'm going to use my U-pick tool, and I'm going to use my favorite part of the U-pick tool, which is where I use the little putty end to pick those up. Actually, I want them the other way. Pick them up so I can put glue on them, okay? Now these little stars will nestle right in there. The top of the star will go right in the top hole. I'm going to see if I can get in closer so you can see that. See that? How it fits in there just perfect. That's where you're going to put it, right in that spot right there. Okay, let me go back out. Whoops, a little too far. There we go. There we are. Okay, so there's putty on the end of this. It's tacky. And all you do is you just use it, pick that up. Look at that. I love it, and I can put a little piece of it, a little bit of dab of glue on there. can't see what I'm doing. Okay. There we go. Right like that. There we go. And this is my favorite part of the U-Pick tool. Is this little putty. I haven't had to advance it too much. You know, when this putty loses its sticky, you can just kind of tear it off and advance a little bit more. And then when the putty's all gone out of it, you can get a new, there's refills. They look, there's the refills. So, and this tool also has the stylus, a large end and a small end. So it's very useful. If you have the scoreboard and you lost your stylus, pick up a U-Pick tool, then you're good to go. I like things that can do multiple jobs. There we go. Okay, there's our tree. I'm gonna let that dry for just a second. And I think we are going to go ahead and fold these over. Okay, and you can see my adhesive is showing, the Tombow glue is showing through on through the vellum, but that's that's okay. That is the back. Oops, come here, I want to be very careful here. When I did my first one, I think I folded it before I attached my trees. There's that one. And these trees are not completely dry, so I just want to be careful I don't, tear them up. And then this one doesn't have anything else, so that goes super easy. There we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to put glue on that. We're going to adhere that together, and then we will have our box. So let me get my Tombow. Again, I'm going to use a very thin strip. There we go. Push that down. I'm going to use my bone folder to get in there and push that seam together really well. Okay. So there's the basic construction of the box. Now we got to work on the lids, okay? I'm going to set this off to the side here. Let me get my trimmer. Put this back in. There we go. And so I have 2 pieces of cherry cobbler. These pieces are, now don't freak out with this measurement, 3 15/16 by 3 15/16, okay? Don't freak out over those measurements, but you know what that 3 15/16 is? It's actually the same as 10 centimeters. So if it's easier for you to measure 10 centimeters, measure 10 centimeters or 3 15/16. If you look at your ruler, you got your 4-inch, it's one little mark less, okay? And we are going to score all 4 of these sides at 5/8 of an inch, okay? And I am going to get a little piece of washi tape. This is a trick I like. 5/8. I don't know if you can see down here. Let me get this in the camera. Okay. There's a half, there's 3/4, so it's right in between. There's 5/8. When I'm doing a lot of one measurement, I like to put a little piece of tape on there that I don't even have to think. I just do it. then I don't have to worry that that I made a mistake. As long as I get it right the first time, get the tape in the right place, I'm good to go. And do the same with the other piece, because one's the top and one's the bottom. The bottom we will glue. The top, of course, is the lid, and it will come on and off. So who thinks they might try one of these? I want to see what, I guess now I have to look through the catalog. I got my new catalog, my January to April mini catalog, you know, and I haven't really looked at it too much yet, believe it or not, but I have to look and see if there's something in there we can use. So this is going to be your lid. You're going to cut these lines on opposite sides. I'll show you what I mean. You're going to cut right here and here. Here and here. Okay, so they're on opposite sides. Now I like to take a little, when I'm making a lid, I like to take a little notch out. Helps it go together better. Okay, and again, I probably should have gone ahead and done one of these completely, but that's okay. I don't want to keep you too long. Okay, we'll do the same thing with this one. I'll just go a little quicker here. Okay, there we are. Oh, come on. Can't get that little tab out of there. Are you a fast crafter or a slow crafter? I'm kind of a slow crafter, I'm gonna be honest. Let me trim this right here. I kind of like to take my time and don't rush. I don't generally rush too fast because I'm always afraid I'm going to mess something up. So, and then you're going to fold on all of these score lines, okay? When you're scoring where you've cut the tabs out, just be careful you don't tear your tabs. Been there, done that. Did anyone go out Black Friday shopping? I worked on Friday, but Friday night after dinner I ran to store, bought one item. I don't mind going out Friday evening on Black Friday. You can still get some of the deals, but you don't have all the crowds. Okay, so we are going to put our lid together. You'll be tucking these in and tucking those in like that, okay? So let's start here with our glue. Let me just do one at a time here. Give it just a second. Whoop. I'm trying to hurry and get back in camera here. Sorry, guys. Again, you tuck your little tags in, put a little drop of glue right on them, fold them in, line them up so that they're straight. got that one put together. Let's see how that works for our base. Let me see here. And there we go. Perfect. Look at that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead, I'm going to put some glue all around. Don't want it on the bottom because that you're going to be, you know, seeing that on the inside. But I'm going to put this in here like this. Put that in. Make sure it all. There we go. I'm going to take my, where'd my bone folder go? There it is. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking my bone folder and I'm rubbing it down so it adheres real well to the box. There we go. Okay, good. And that can dry while I work on the lid. Look how nice it's looking. Do the same thing here. Put my glue right there. Really, we don't have that much left to do. The hardest part's done. I'm sorry about this. I really had intended to have this done, and I did some of this done, and I didn't think ahead very well. Beautiful. And then that's going to be our lid. There we go. It fits nice and snug. I had to bend it the box just a little bit to get the lid on. But look at that. See now? We had the what was it, 7 5/8 at the bottom, and it was about the same at the top. And look at that, it's perfect. Okay. I'm gonna just leave that on there for now. And I think what we're gonna do is go ahead and decorate our edges, okay? And I'm gonna do this on the box because it gives it a little bit more stability. And now I have 4 pieces of, this was 6x6 DSP. This designer series paper has sold out, but they're cut in 5/8 inch, and we're just gonna glue it and work its way around, okay? So let me, this really is pretty easy too. I watched her do this and I'm like, that is just genius. It really, okay, so you put it on the front side, let it dry for just a second. Then you're going to kind of crease it as you go around the corner. Do this same thing here. Get to this edge, just going to snip this little piece off. Then the next piece starts right here. What do you think of this? Isn't this gorgeous? I wish I could, like I said, I wish I could take credit for it, but it was Brenda Quintana. I was on her YouTube channel and saw this and thought I just had to share this with all of you and show you how really super simple it is. There we are. Let that set on there and dry. I'll trim that little piece off. Pull that off for just a second so I can secure those down real quick. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing with these two pieces right here on the base. If I had a larger piece of designer series paper, you know, this, again, like I said, this was 6 by 6. I might have tried one strip all the way, I'm sorry, you can't see what I'm doing, all the way around. After we do this, all we have to do is finish up the top, the lid, and we will be ready. Decorate it. I think I'm going to take a minute here. I'm going to take my bone folder. I'm going to press that down. Get a good, give it a chance to adhere real well. There we go. Okay. We're going to fold that over. I think this is probably what takes the longest. And we will trim that edge off and then go over it with the bone folder. Okay, it was this piece. I think it was that one. We'll do all 4 again anyway. Okay, there we go. Putting my lid on. This side here, I like that on the front. Not that it makes a lot of difference, but oh, I'm liking that a lot. I love it. I mean, you could even decorate the outside of this if you wanted to with some little multicolored pearls, as long as they didn't interfere with the, you know, the holes that the light comes through. Okay, so you can see on the top, it has From the Very Best Occasions, with a little more sparkle and a little less stress, make this Christmas the very best. Okay, that's where that comes from. I've already stamped it. I've already cut out a piece of gold foil. This piece is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, then I use the square dies. I have my blends here. This is this light soft succulent. We're going to color in those leaves here just to give it a little bit of color. I think you could also use, you know, and then we'll color in the berries too, but I think you could even use like sequins or something for the berries if you wanted to. I think that would be cute. Okay, there's that. That's the light soft succulent, and this is the dark cherry cobbler I'm going to use for the berries. Okay. I don't even have to color, I just kind of put a dot of ink. Okay. We're going to put some Tumble on the back of that. Center this on here. You could, if you wanted to, cut these stars out of this section, this piece of gold that's behind this white, and nobody would ever know. Just a way to get a little more out of your gold foil. But I'd already cut mine before I thought about that, so. Okay, let's see, where's my front? This is my front, so we're gonna put this right on here. There we go. Oh, well, I'm thinking about it. See, I have the bigger, you know, I had the bigger, you know, piece to attach, fold over, and I think it's just fine. I don't think it makes any difference. So whether you use the full 11-inch piece or the 10 3/4, I don't think it makes any difference. Then on this one, I use the gold ribbon to make a bow. I think I'm gonna try just excuse me, a knot. Oh, and I want to let you know, I stamped this sentiment in Evening Evergreen. Okay. Let's make a nice little bow. Where's my glue dot at? Here's a glue dot. I'm gonna put that on there. I know we're running later than normal, but I thought this project was pretty cool and worth it. Oops. I guess my glue dot didn't come off. Hold on. Got a tickle in my throat there. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna take it off, put the glue dot right on there, and then we'll, excuse me, put the bow on it there. And I'll trim it up. Kind of like the little knot better here than the big bow. But you know, you can do whatever you want. And that is pretty much it. Then, like I said, you know, you could put, where's my, oh, my tea light is in this one here. No, it's not. It's out. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. It's hiding back here. So you've got your tea light. You could put a tea light in there. This is a battery operated one. You could fill it with candy or a small gift. Put the lid on it. I'd put a note in there telling them not to get rid of the box, that it works as a votive, a luminary. But there you go. Let me put that on there. I know you can't see it unless I turn my lights off again. But it is all lit up. I don't know if you can tell or not. There we go. If I give it some shadow. There, you can see it a little bit. But if you didn't, if you joined late, catch the early in the video, I showed you, oh heck, I'm going to just do it one more time. I'm going to switch the view. I'm going to turn off the light, switch the view, and you'll see it standing upright. Okay, so there you go. See, there's what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? I think that's just amazing. Okay, so I'm going to leave you all in the dark, or I'm in the dark. I'm going to leave you right now, and I want to thank you so much for joining me. Sorry I ran a little late today, but I thought this was very much worth showing you. So thank you so much, and I will see you next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Stamping with Denise. Bye now.